Bake Bizzle and Nuke Bizzle might go down as one of the dumbest crime families ever. And today, we're breaking down the insane moves that landed them with murder and fraud charges. Both brothers came up on Tate Street in Memphis, an area Bake Bizzle nicknamed South Vegas because of how heavy the hustle was. He claims he's been grinding in the streets since he was 11, learning the game directly from his pops and his older brother Nuke.
I really been hustling probably since I was about, really hustling probably about 11. I actually got a game from my dad and my big brother.
Bake got his start trapping in Memphis, but after spending serious time in Las Vegas, he leveled his hustle up. When he came back to the city, he brought that Vegas mentality with him and started calling their block South Vegas. While newer names like FTO Set began buzzing out of Tate Street, Bake had already been repping the hood for years and dropping tracks. In 2018, he dropped Lost Memphis and spit, "I feel like Tupac, I got the juice, fresh out the ground like a fruit. Call me Lieutenant Bake, I got some troops. I'll be in Vegas counting up with Nuke." The song gave him momentum in Memphis, but it all came crashing down when he and his brother Cap Bizzle were accused of murdering a man named Joseph Buckley. Bake wasn't known for drill rap. He seemed more focused on stacking cash than hunting enemies. But in the streets, heavy money always brings heavy violence. On Lost Memphis, he also said, "I'm in the South, feel like it's Vegas. I got a money spot over here, over there. I'm in the kitchen, feel like I'm slaving. I keep messing up all the silverware. We got them sticks, we got them drakes. You know I bring the smoke to you anywhere." Then in 2020, Bake and Cap allegedly killed a man during a weed deal gone wrong. Police say Bake set up a transaction with Buckley, who came from Newton, Mississippi with $25K to buy product. But instead of heading back home with the weed, Buckley ended up dead in Memphis. He drove straight to the spot to link with Bake, and that's where the situation turned fatal. Bake Bizzle told Buckley to pull over on a side street, saying he needed to hit the stash spot and would text the address. He and his homie drove off, then sent Buckley directions to 1577 Havana Street. According to Bake, Cat Bizzle was supposed to meet Buckley there and guide him to the house for the pickup, but that's not how it played out. Buckley and his crew linked up with Cat on Havana, and as Cat led them past an alley dumpster, gunfire erupted and Buckley dropped right there. He had a Fendi backpack stuffed with $25K in cash, but by the time police arrived, both the money and his life were gone. Nobody knows exactly who flipped, but witnesses pointed the finger at Bake and Cat as the shooters. Bake already had 7 arrests under his belt before this, but he always managed to touch down quick. This time was different. On a murder rap, he sat for 14 months while fighting the charge. When he finally made it out, he jumped back into music and interviews, moving like the case wasn't hanging over him. He swore he was innocent, claiming he was only about hustling money, not taking lives.
I ain't no really violent person or none of that. You know, I'm chasing my money.
You a hustler, bro.
Hustler, yeah.
Memphis streets
like
stay chaotic, packed with wild gang wars and non-stop beef. But Big Bizzle claimed he didn't have a single enemy lurking in the trenches.
I'm a people person. So
There you go. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't got no ops or none of that.
You did.
Like, I really can do what
Bizzle
I
claimed
really
all
want to do.
he ever wanted was to hold everyone around him down. He said he was always the one stacking money, and when he came home after sitting 14 months behind bars, he was looking out for nearly 20 people at once.
On the hand right now, I'm probably about 20 people in right now. Just
20 people.
20 people just
On the money.
on the money. Cause what you got going, send me this, go this and that. You know, and all type penitentiary, federal.
Big Bizzle's been trying to rebuild his buzz in rap ever since catching that charge. But in 2024, he got picked up again on the same case. Now he's back behind bars, staring down the possibility of decades. Meanwhile, his brother Nuke Bizzle has already been sitting locked up off one of the wildest, dumbest scams in rap history. Nuke thought moving out to the Hollywood Hills would launch his career, but what really lit his name up was scamming COVID unemployment claims. Him and his crew were stealing identities, pulling debit cards stacked with government relief money, and they ran up more than $1 million. They might have slid under the radar, but Nuke went and bragged about it in a track called EDDD, named after California's Employment Development Department. On the record, he flexed, "I just seen 30 cars land in one day, got straight on the phone and activate. Call BOA, they say I got a date. It's 12 o'clock, gotta go swipe today." If you got the name and number, I got the addy, we could put something together. And I done got rich off of EDDD. Ain't no more licks, cause of EDDD. And just last night I was selling peas, and I just woke up to 400 G's. Stole 60K off an SBA. It's time to ball like the NBA. 10 cars, I'm swiping 10K a day. The cops didn't need more than that. They tracked him down and hit him with extra charges for being a felon with a gun and carrying oxycodone with intent to distribute. But the way he got caught on the drug side was even dumber. In January 2020, TSA searched his bag at the Memphis airport and found oxycodone, promethazine, alprazolam, and over 7 pounds of weed. Nuke skated light by pleading guilty, catching only 6 years. But Bake, Nuke, and Cat Bizzle weren't the only brothers tangled up in chaos with the law. The youngest brother in the mix is a dude named Lil Squid, who reps a Memphis set called AOB. In 2022, Squid and his homie allegedly slid on the ops and caught somebody lacking on the 600 block of Mississippi Boulevard. Cops say the target tried to run, but Squid had a Glock with a switch and lit him up while he was fleeing. He got booked on an attempted murder charge, but that wasn't his only run-in with the law. Just weeks before the shooting, Squid got caught slipping with a switch in the dumbest way possible. He was parked wrong on the street just sitting in his car when police pulled up. The whole thing looked shady, so they told him to hop out, and that's when they found the Glock with the switch. Squid admitted it was his, and by 2023, he was sentenced to 2 years for possession of a machine gun. Nobody knows exactly how active Squid really was, but police have been pressing AOB heavy, claiming the crew is heating up the city. In 2024, MPD launched a special operation called Alaf Boyd, targeting the gang, arresting 12 members and seizing 13 guns, 3 pounds of weed, 12 grams of meth, and over 400 ecstasy pills. The biggest artist tied to AOB is a rapper named FTO Set, who landed a major look after Gucci Mane signed him to 1017. Nuke Bizzle rocked with Set too, since they both came up from the same neighborhood. But Set ended up fumbling the bag, getting locked in 2024 for carrying a Glock with a switch. Still, Bake's network in Memphis ran deeper, since he's actually blood cousins with Pooh Shiesty. But there's no chance they'll link up anytime soon. Bake's still fighting the Joseph Buckley murder, and Shiesty's been down on a 5-year federal conspiracy bid since 2022. At this point, Bake, Nuke, Cat, and Lil Squid all jumped off the porch as kids, and now every last one of them is either locked or fighting charges. Cat's exact situation isn't clear, but he's reportedly still wrapped up in the Buckley case alongside Bake. They all got money in the streets, but none of them figured out how to move without ending up behind bars.